welcome back to Attingham Park, and time has progressed a little since the last video. I have done all the animal feeding that I said I was going to do, or I've done most of it. The grass has been planted. The Arion is busy rolling that field for us now. Not because of any yield benefit or anything, but just because otherwise it'll bug me that the map says needs rolling. And one of the things I want to do today is have a play around with the new DLC and make some TMR bales. But we need to feed the pigs. The pigs need some CCM, and at the moment we have CCM bales, and the pig shed doesn't have a bale trigger. So one of the things that you can do is put the bale into your feed mixer. I have it set to be pig food so that it'll take CCM. It will shred the bale for you, and then you can either tip it onto the floor, or you can tip it into a shovel, or you could feed it directly. It is entirely up to you. So I want to do, I think it's you set tip side, and I'm actually going to see if I can pour it into the shovel on the Kubota. This may not work, but it's not a good idea. I mean, I want to pick some potatoes up particularly. Ignore the pallet forks, which are going a bit manic on the ground there. But yeah, we're going to have a go at tipping some direct into the shovel, and then the rest I'm going to put over in our feed store area. I don't know if this is going to work. We'll see. It will work. That's kind of cool. Obviously, we have a whole load of CCM left in the feed mixer to get out, but I just wanted to do that little demo of a way of dealing with the fact that certainly this pig pen, and I think most, won't take bales. But you might have baled feed to feed them, so that's what we've done. We are almost at the point where our pigs are going to reproduce as well. So what I'm going to do now is drive up to somewhere along here and then just dump that onto the ground. And there is our bale of CCM. So if you've wondered how to do that, now you know. So the next thing I want to have a play with, and it is purely because I want to have a play with it, is we're going to do a bit of TMR baling. There is slight ulterior motive for that as well, and that is I want to try and empty the silage clamp. We only have the one silage clamp, and I want to do some crashing and also some pit silage with the grass fields. So to do that, we need to empty out the maize silage, and I thought an interesting way of doing that would be to make a whole load of TMR and bale it. So that also means then if at some point I want a quick way of feeding, I've got it. So we're going to set a store delivery point here. We are going to lease the Grimmy belt to go from, I wonder, I don't know if you can. We're going to see if we can bypass that step. We are going to go out and enable the new DLC. And we're back. And now we will lease a baler from the Go Vile, the new DLC. Difference between these is the bale size. We're going to go for the bigger bales. Wrapper design. We want the end turner. We do not need signage additive. We are going to go for green wrap, I think. We are not going to have a number plate, and we are going to lease that. Awesome. So that needs a tractor. So let's take over a tractor. And I'm kind of optimistic that we might be able to tip straight out of the TMR mixer into the baler. Kind of my hope. So let's unfold everything, see how we end up. I love the way that all opens up. Yeah, I reckon we might just be able to tip straight into that, you know. I think there is a good chance that we will. So let's do slightly bigger bales. Let's turn on automatic drop. Awesome. Now we need some total mixed ration in here, but what I'm going to do first is park up. One of the random fact, I think most people say TMR. Think something that really sticks in my mind from when I used to and do occasionally watch Daggerwin videos is he would quite often say total mixed ration in full. It's not the mix that we want. We want, I believe, our dairy cattle mix. Yep. So let's go grab a thingy. A telehandler. That'll do. Will do. A telehandler would be good. Actually, let's bung some maize signage in first just to get it going. And we're going to take the pile that's been dropped on the ground. Yeah, it's like, no, this is a DLC. Maybe I'm gonna say obviously, maybe not obviously. This is a bucket from the DLC from the platinum expansion, and that means I can't go in, edit it, and remove the leveling function because it's in the encrypted stuff. So otherwise, I would go remove the leveling function, and we wouldn't have that problem. Anywho, we have maize silage bales as well, but I'm going to keep those. I'm probably not going to completely empty the clamp in this video. I think I just want to do a proof of concept, because that might get a bit repetitive, and it's probably the sort of thing where I would do quite a lot of off-camera work, and I'm trying to minimize that in the videos that I'm making in this series, or not necessarily minimizing the off-camera work, minimizing the off-camera work in the episode. Off camera, I have mixed a whole load of grain mix, because we need that to make the TMR for a start, and because it's quite a slow process. And so doing that whilst trying to record one of these almost live videos is quite tricky, without them turning into like a 2-hour epic. And while some of you may watch that, most people won't. So, you know, have to kind of balance that. So I think we'll just show proof of concept with 1 or 2 mixer wagons full. The other thing that I want to do is bring over the Anderson bale stacker and see if we can place that in such a way that it will auto load. Watched Kartek doing that the other day on one of his videos. I think I watched Argsy doing it as well on one of his videos. So yeah, it should work, and that should make it quite a bit easier. I don't think a load of TMR is going to produce that many bales, so probably do need to do a few loads. So that's the grain mix and the maize in. We now need to do some hay, some grass silage. Yeah, so as I said, the real goal is to get the clamp empty, to do some grass silage in there. We might end up having to do the same thing next spring, not next spring, next summer, when it comes around to harvesting the maize. We may bale that. We may static bale that. I think I did those with the multi-baler, but there are plenty of options now for baling stuff. So yeah, may try and do something different. I just thought it might be fun to do a little bit of silage in the clamp because it's been a while. So, it's actually been a while since I've mixed TMR on camera. I think the last time I tried to attempt it was when I was trying to stream this and failed in both accounts. How many bales of hay do I want to put in? Maybe take a couple of these slightly smaller bales. Not a half decent amount of hay. We've also got hay up at the sheep, so we're in a pretty good position for hay. Let's chuck a couple of bales in. I think when we're on to the maize silage bales, we might have to be being fairly frugal with those and not going too crazy with how many we put in. So I'm just going to let that run and see how much more grass silage we need. A couple of bales, I think, will do it. Oh, I thought I was going to nail that. Oh well. One for you fans of the crashing. I'm going to take 2 more bales of grass silage. I think this is the oldest grass silage bales we have on the farm. We also have that stack over there. The ones in the green, in the fluorescent green, are whole crop silage. Might probably end up feeding some of that over the winter as well. If we run out of maize silage, we'll just change the TMR that we're feeding a little bit. One of the really nice things about maizePlus is we can customize. Oh, gonna work. Right, let's go get the bale stacker. Which means we need a tractor we can put on the bale stacker. Oh, the G series will be okay. It's on the smaller side, but it'll be okay. Let's jump in here. Little G105. This is one of my so many. This is the tractor that I really like. I'm gonna say it's one of my favorites. It's a tractor that I really like. It has fond memories from my field farm. I think I always get confused between Oakfield and Oak Hill. The Oxy map, that Let's Play, I have fond memories where a little G, I think it was a G105, was my only tractor for quite a long time. Because I was a fairly poor pig farmer. Not poor as in poor at looking after the pigs, poor as in I didn't have much cash. Don't judge me, okay? Looked after my pigs. They were well fed with all of the maizePlus feed requirements. Okay. Right. In here. Turn on this baler. And then put in the TMR. The TMR goes through the baler. Stand useful. There we go. How much TMR is it going to put into a bale? I'm going to guess 5,500 litres. Yep. So we'll get 7 or 8 bales out of a mixer full. And then it hopefully fall off of there into there. And it won't all go flying about in the air. The animation is so cool. Oh, I've not turned on auto drop. The oh, is that too close? Okay. Let's try parking it there. Did I leave auto drop on? I did. So see if you want to play now. We've got 25,000 litres of TMR still in the feed wagon. Perfect. This is really cool. Let's make a whole bunch of TMR bale, shall we? I think that's just going to keep filling. Awesome. So let's get prepared for the next batch, because you know we can do that. We can be organised, and then we'll switch over to doing some field work. I think. I have no idea how much maize is actually in here, because the bunker did that fun thing where it stops telling you how much is in there, which is always really helpful. It's been a bug in FS for, I was going to say as long as I've played FS, but I've only played 2 FS games, so you know that's kind of not a thing that's really huge, but don't judge, okay? I really wasn't big into, I was going to say I wasn't big into PC game, I kind of was, so but not farming, because that's going to be boring, right? I think I'd seen FS17. I'm not sure. I know I've told the story before, but I really thought this game wouldn't keep my attention for that long. What do I care about a farming game? How did that work out for me, hey? As I now have a moderately successful YouTube channel that's playing that farming game. Okay. Yeah, I get it. So how are we doing here? Oh, cool, that's empty, so we can start to refill it. I wonder if we can get a mix done before the I don't think we will. I was going to say before the baler empties, but I'm pretty sure we won't. But we'll see. We'll be somewhat not too far behind. It's sitting waiting already. That in, we'll get a couple of bales of hay or a bigger bale. We'll do the grain mix and we're good. And then I'll do some other stuff so that you guys don't get bored watching me just make TMR for however long I make the video. Wrong keys. There we go. Oh, can I blame it on autosave? So I have updated autosave on here, and it gives me the countdown now, which is really nice. I have not updated the enhanced animal system on here. I do have it installed. I am not going to update it now because the new animals that it brings in replaces some of the existing animals, and I don't want to screw the save up at this point. If you're using that mod, I would only update to version 2 if you are starting a fresh save personally, or you don't mind fixing it when the animals that you have get a bit screwed up. I didn't want to do that, so I am not updating it. Yes, it is somewhat compatible with maizePlus, before people ask. people have already asked. People were asking almost instantly. I think there is a specific channel for it on the maizePlus Discord. The creator is on the maizePlus Discord, so you can ask him questions. And Nightcloak, who made the awesome edit to the animal food editions that I'm running on Maypole Farm to bring in the more realistic milking, has also posted some stuff on there and on my Discord about the things you would need to add to the animal food editions to get maizePlus to work with the new animals that are included in the updated enhanced animal system. Oh, that was a lot of words. Yeah, it's really cool. It's got, you know, calves and bulls and all that kind of thing. So, a step towards what's going to be a much more complete overhaul to the animal system in Terra Life. But yeah, go check it out. It's it uses the same underlying animal 3D model pack animations that the farming agency brought for Terra Life, and that you will have seen on Court Farms with the stuff that Scroft's been doing on there. Those were provided to Oxy through the farming agency. So yeah, the enhanced animal system uses stuff from Farmer Andy, but he brought the same 3D model pack and animation pack as farming agency brought. So there is some cool special stuff coming with the farming agency bits. So stay tuned. Alpha streams are coming soon. Trademark. What have I done wrong? What did I do? I always end up screwing this up. I've got 53% grass silage. Okay, we can fix this. We can fix this. Ooh, that's a heavy boy. That's a heavy boy. That's what the reason it's so heavy is, although there is a mixture of ingredients in here, the way the game calculates the weight is based off of the thing that has the most of, and that grass silage. And grass silage is really heavy, and that's why it's made it so heavy that I can't actually steer particularly well. I don't think I have a spare front weight handy, which is why I'm doing this kind of random meander to get to the feed point. In fact, what I think I'm going to do is we're just going to do a dump on the ground. That grass silage we're dumping out, 51% grass silage. How are we doing now? We are better, so I'll have to come and grab that, obviously. But we can now tip in the remaining grain mix. I'll be back when I'm parked up. I decided not to turn around. So hopefully now, if I tip the rest of the grain mix in, turn it in TMR. It has turned into TMR. Awesome. And then we go get the how much grass silage did we tip out over here? It's a shame the cows won't just come and eat that. Pretty sure in reality they would, but you know. I don't know what we're going to do with that. I don't know why I've come over and picked it up. I should have just left it where it was. Get back to the job we're supposed to be doing. And that is making TMR bales. So is that working again, or did it stop working? That is working. That is baling. Awesome. So I'm gonna let this run for a bit, probably, and I'll be back. Oh. And we are back, and we have a full bale stacker. I'm kind of hoping that the little voucher can deal with a full bale stacker. Our bale stacking area is kind of full, actually, so I guess we could stack these over here. That'd be fine. It's a bit of a drive once we need them, but I don't think I'm in any particular rush to sell, or sorry, to use these at the moment. Speaking of selling, if you did want to sell TMRA, you should go download the Forage Dealer mod off of ModHub, because it was made by, you know, some kind of okay modder. And second, this would be a good way of transporting it, because there's a lot of TMR on there. Each of those is 5,500 liters, so yeah, would be a good way of clearing out your TMR if you did want to get into selling it. Selling TMR is actually something that I want to get into on Maypole Farm, but not on here. So, although we do have a rather ridiculous amount of feed at this point. That's going to drop pretty significantly through the winter, although we are about to make yet more silage. So, you know, there is that. Put that back down, please. Back into the operating position. And there we go. So, yeah, first full load. I think I'm on about the fourth or fifth mixer full of EMR. So, I'll do a few more. Maybe do another trailer load basically, and I'll be back. The other thing that I swapped to doing is, which some of you are probably chatting at the screen, I'm using the big Volvo to get the grain mixer as well, because I can get it all in one load, and therefore it's much easier. I'm doing just grabbing about 5,000 liters, because we need just over 10% really, which would be 4,500. So yeah, getting a little bit more just so that we've got a bit of a margin there. And then a bale of hay, and it was about 3.5 bales of grass silage. I think what I might do is put in 3 bales of grass silage this time, a bale of hay, and then dump a bale of beet pulp silage, and hope that the amount of grain mix is enough that we don't have to add more. We might. So they seem to be still talking while showing you the stuff that I was just going to do in the background. But hey, we're going to get hay. Sorry, I know. I'm a dad. Deal with it. I make dad jokes, or just bad jokes. Mrs. D would say just bad jokes, but you know, I'm home alone, so I can make the bad dad jokes. That is dad jokes that are bad, not dad jokes from a bad dad. Oh geez, can you tell I need to get more sleep? So actually this morning I've been trying to do, it hasn't worked yet. I have an ambition to do more running during the week. Lately, I've just been running at weekends, which is not great when you're trying to train for for ultramarathon. So I'm trying to do more running during the week. Monday was successful. I went for a short run on Monday, and I was in the office yesterday, so I couldn't run because I spent hours in the car instead. And I set the alarm to get up early this morning to go for a run before work, and the alarm went off. I half contemplated trying to go back to sleep. I actually had a really good night's sleep, which is rare for lately. I didn't go back to sleep. I got up and I was just lazy then and couldn't be bothered to go out for a run. So there is that. Oh well, there's always tomorrow. Except there are only so many tomorrows, so but yeah, I do prefer to run early in the morning if I'm going to run. So it's not going to happen today. Other stuff that I need to get done. So, yeah, we'll try 3 grass silage bales. And the other thing that I found, which was a really nice way of dealing with putting too much grass silage in, is to bring the bucket for the Volvo up and tip into that by tipping out of the left-hand side. Because then I didn't end up with a little pile of grass silage on the floor and I didn't have to move everything, which was much more sensible than what I did the first time. Bale of beet pulp silage. The CCM I'm going to keep for the pigs, or the CCM silage, fermented CCM. There we go. So hopefully that is going to stay as TMR. We might struggle as we run low on grain mix. If we do, I'll just get a bit more grain mix to put in, I think. So if we watch the display, we're staying at 10%, so that's pretty cool. So actually we just about nailed it. Yeah, awesome. Right, more bales going on to the stacker. I'll be back when we've got this one full. I've got a nasty feeling this is going to turn into one of those episodes where I don't get to the job that I had intended to do, because this is taking a little while. I don't actually know how much video I have recorded at this point. We could also check in. Let's do that. Let's do a little check-in with the Ration. Actually, it's got a lot of this field rolled already. It's only using the little 6-meter roller, so it's doing pretty well. Is that just a missed bit? Yeah, it looks like we just missed a bit when I was restarting the job. Oh, well, it's only cover crop, so it's not a problem. This is going to be maize in the spring. And we need to do a bit of fertilizing, but we can always bring over some of the nitrogen pumps and hoses kit. Let's run the seeder back to the farm. This could do with a darn good wash, actually. This is the weight that I would have put on the Valtra that we're using to do the forage mixing, where I'm having issues with too much grass silage going in. But actually I think the way that I've just done it, where I just switched the tip side and tipped the grass into the bucket, is much better. We have weeds there. We have weeds that can be hoed. I'm not sure why that's saying it needs rolling. I thought I rolled all of that. I did not. Why didn't I roll that? Because I'm dumb? Probably. I probably forgot. I probably forgot and skipped ahead. Oh well. It looks like we need to weed it as well. Or we could spot. We've got the see and spray, so maybe we see and spray, because I don't think I've done anything with that. At least not in quite a while. So, and it'll give us a better. Weirdly, it'll give us a better environmental score than if we weed it. So. The joys of being sponsored, having a DLC sponsored by the company that make the technology that applies herbicide, not the technology that does mechanical weeding. Did I say that out loud? Might have. It seems I'm having more and more of these videos, particularly on this series, where I end up A, not doing what I planned, and B, doing kind of random yard jobs at the moment. It's just kind of how it works out. So Kartek did ask me how the analytics were looking for these videos where I'm doing a different type, and I think they're basically about the same. I know some of you do enjoy these more, which is partly why I'm making them, partly because it's a really nice way to push myself in my video creation. So, yeah, I had actually pondered, and it might happen, doing a stream this week, with it being the bank holidays. That's where the feeder goes down there. I am not at all well positioned to get that feeder in that gap. But we'll try. Might be better to use the technique that's been suggested of hooking it up to the front. actually, I think we might just tuck it in here. Okay, so I don't think we need the seeder anymore this year. Oh, we do in fact. So probably not worth me battling to put it away. We can actually just park it over here. Except our bale store has a collision on it. Okay, take 2, 3, 4. Actually, I'm just going to run it straight back into that shed behind us for now. Because yeah, we're going to be. I want to cut the grass that's in field 26, and then we're going. Which was my goal for today. And then we are going to prep that for barley and plant barley. How many bales has that got on it? That's got 17. I don't think we'll get another full mix, but I'm going to mix some more TMR and check how long I've been waffling, and I'll be back. Yeah, I have been recording for plenty long enough that we are not going to get into doing the grass work today. Yet another video where I don't achieve what I'd planned. Kind of is what it is, I guess, at this point. I wanted to just try something different. I've not done much with the DLC, so this seemed like a fun one to try. Probably half the world have been doing this. We've still got a bit of maize silage in the bunker. I decided that I could try taking from this stack of bales because they're already in 3s. I should have used the JCB, which has got the better bale crab on it. But we're nearly there. Yeah, I'm going to finish off this with this mix in this video, because this video is plenty long enough for most people. It may not be long enough for you, but it's long enough for most people at this point. So we'll work on getting this stuff mixed. I've done the mix in a slightly different order this time. So I did most of a big bucket of maize silage, and then I did about 6,000 litres of grain mix, maybe even a little bit more, so that we're not right on the edge of the grain mix requirement. I then did a bale of hay, a bale of beet pulp silage, and the 3 bales of grass silage. And I'm hoping that that gives us a mix that is okay. Looks that way. I think we've still got some grass silage bale sitting in the mixer, so that'll probably go. No, that looks pretty good actually. Using 18% maize silage is probably good because it's going to pad that out a little bit longer, which I kind of want. As I said, I didn't get to doing the job that I planned to do today. I think at this point I'm going to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members as well. Appreciate you guys all supporting the channel. Let's just make a note of that so that I can find it when I'm editing the video at some point in a few days time. And yeah, I didn't get to where I wanted to get to again, where you're all thinking that. But I really need to get that clamp cleared out. I could just put all of that maize silage through the BGA, but we can't afford to do that. I think we need that maize silage for feed. So between videos, because I think that's the best way to progress this at this point, I'm going to keep doing this until the clamp is empty. We're just going to keep mixing TMR up until I have emptied the clamp out. Or we run out of something else. I don't think that'll be the case. And then when I come back, we'll still be in October, and we'll get that grass field mowed, get the grass in the clamp. I'm not going to close the clamp up because there's a lot more grass to mow as we go through, and maybe get that grass ploughed in, ready for replanting. So yeah, thanks for watching everyone. Hope you enjoyed this thing. It was definitely a thing. If you did click the like button, any comments, questions or suggestions, stick them below. and I will see you next time on Attingham Park.